And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Solar Nations 2 as we go for Red Mars. So our red is spreading, which is good. The Premier has been reassigned. We do have some high unrest in a couple regions, but those regions are calming down. And we've got occupation forces there just in case they get a little uppity. Although it looks like they're not going to go all the way down to 0 due to the foreign culture. They'll get pretty low, though. Okay, that's for... Actually, where do I want to spend my growing treasury? Working there on building the hydroponics. After the hydroponics is done, I'm going to probably do resource extraction. Here, we've got the 3 deposit types done, but we're working on infrastructure. Probably do resource extraction when that's done. Iron. Again, I don't think I have nano composites. If I do, I should do it. I should build some nano composites. Looks like I don't have nano composites yet as a building to build. Got some of that iron. If I'm going to do iron improvements, it's this one. Just work on the infrastructure there. Iron. You have some other stuff. I'm not going to build the nuclear fuels yet because, again, the one thing we got for nuclear fuels is got as an upkeep cost. It's going to be more expensive in upkeep than revenue for the moment. Lithium, titanium. So we do lithium. Lithium is manufacturing. We have consumer goods. We'll do that. More middle-class regional power is not bad either. So I keep the middle-class happy. Lithium here as well. Let's do consumer goods. Worry a little bit less about the Chinese provinces we integrated the some stuff there, but that's all I'm really going to do there is that trifecta. Let's get the iron going. And these regions we've taken over. Again, we took them over. Most of the places that aren't colonized with our culture, I think we're going to light touch deal with for the moment because we have the wrong culture here. Because our unification here is to control 80% of the population on Mars. If we do that, I believe this gives us all of the Martian cultures, so I'm not going to worry too much about trying to integrate regions. Our goal is to collect Martian population, not necessarily build out. Although with my higher stability, I just remembered I haven't set my colonial policy. We're Marxist. We're going state-owned. Let's give a little bit of bonus to future colonies. And with that done, I suppose now we're just going to start trying to... Because actually, we got a little bit of debt. Once we're out of debt, if I'm out of debt and I don't have things to build in sort of the ideal provinces, we'll start building things in the ideal ones right here. So 2 iron isn't particularly great. There is other stuff we can build, whether it's spaceports or barracks. That might not necessarily be super useful for the economy, but will be useful for the strength of the nation. Did my colony finish? Yes, the colony finished. So here we should do the steel refinery, which reminds me I should be exporting more steel, or exporting more iron, or more industrial capacity. Generate more revenue that way. And then I should get another colony going. All your stuff is currently connected. I'm going to grab this area in the middle here. So send colonist, and I will pay for the infrastructure, even if it's a little expensive. Putting us pretty much into debt. That's fine. Next culture trade. I wonder, can I do that to... As far as I'm aware, I am not allowed to do it to any except for the primary one. It's fine for the moment. Here we can grab Universal Exploration, which means we no longer get interplanetary splinter cultures. That'll be useful when we start colonizing the system. And I suppose I haven't looked through these. I know Frontier Spirit I wanted to do for Universal Exploration. We got Unity, Simulation, Faction Loyalty, Admin Divisions at the cost of tax base, so we maybe don't want to do that one. So we maybe don't want to go up this tree right away. Although our tax base is pretty small at the moment. Unless that might be the tax base we don't want to reduce. I'm not sure. Utopian Vision, so Unity, Forum Cost, Yearly Unrest, and Rural Labor Faction Loyalty. That sounds good. Utopian Zeal, Faith in Dreams, Project Upkeep, Political Power for the Rural. That seems reasonable. Marxist. Probably go utopianism. Of course, we're human, so I should probably do the human traits at some point. Habitability there would actually be pretty good here on Mars. Population growth, because we're small, doesn't sound like a terrible idea. Okay. One thing I might do is let's... right now we've been on family policy of neutral. I'm going to swap to nihilism. This is going to reduce the income tax, which is already very small, because it's going to reduce the workforce ratio. In exchange, we're going to get a bigger bonus to population growth. So let's do that. Swap to natalism on all our cultures that are accepted. I might not bother with the non-accepted cultures. We want the accepted cultures to grow faster if possible. I could raise conditions. Exchange for industrial capacity. At the moment, we'll hold off there. Stay on decent conditions. We haven't completely super tanked the... well, I suppose we maybe have super tanked the industrial capacity. We'll think about it. See how the revenue is later. Okay. Nihilism should help a little bit with population growth. And then... how do our factions look? So the aristocrats are the only ones that are grumpy. Middle class is actually not quite happy. Let's drop the income tax more. There we go. Make them actually green. I think we get a bigger tech rate modifier if they're green. The only faction that really doesn't like us is aristocrats at the moment, which makes sense because we're communists. The aristocrats are not going to like the communists. And we'll earn our way out of debt pretty quickly here. Once the integration here is done, I'll be looking for opportunities to get involved in stuff. So, remember quickly, there's a conflict going on between those two. And it's probably still ongoing. Yeah, this is the war that we, at least I think is still ongoing. Although there's only 1,000 French guys, so the war is slow, probably. So we're back in the green. The colony's still colonying. You're still building that steel refinery. Not necessarily a rush to get this stuff done. Okay, so until we get Nanocosmos, this is the main set there. And that's the main set there. And then, yeah, you've got your set there. Could technically do farms here. In fact, I will do farms here where we do the resource extraction. Maybe this will give us like a plus level 2 agriculture zone. Get that under construction. 2.7 years. And then here, I'm going to start building resource excavation. This is at least going to buff the farms and the steel mill. I'm not sure about anything else, but it's definitely one of those two. 2.7 years, and then we'll get that buff. Oh. Mozambique is calling us to war in Mozambique Zulu War, okay? We're not going to fly back to Earth, but our friends here on Earth are at war with the Zulu. Hopefully our friends are strong enough that that is not a concern. Mozambique Zulu War. There it shows up. Yeah, our alliance in theory has a bigger force than the Zulu, so hopefully that's not a concern. That's aggressive escalation. Already up to nuclear war, or up to total war. War escalation, Mozambique Zulu War has escalated to become a total war. New actions are available. Okay. A whole bunch of different people are planning to join the war against us. Insert the region. Can I find Mozambique in here? There's Mozambique. Did that work? I'm confused. Okay, looks like it worked, but it didn't actually... Did it actually give any territory to the Zulus? From Mozambique? I'm not sure. I'm called into a different war. Okay. War with the Zulu has been resolved. Not seeing any change there, but I'm now in a different war. Okay. Let's get our humanist traits, or human traits, so I can get up to the habitability at least. Let's get back to Mars. Okay, so I've got 60k bounced back. You're working the resource extraction. You're working on the hydroponics farm. I'm going to do resource extraction here as well. And then, oh, my colony finished. Did it? Yeah, it did. Once again, start off with steel refinery. And get a different colony going. Let's not get these guys trapped in some colonist here. And build the infrastructure. Oh, let's follow up with edicts. Extraction subsidies. Which places can I get more revenue due to the admin? So there. And then those are the regions that are either conquered or were for the former Chinese places. Fair enough. Increased taxation. Anywhere where we can still get taxation without going over or dropping below 100. So it's those places. Put that way. Become a conventional war. Okay. Civil government restored in these regions. Good to know. Still no expectation. Oh no, there's an expectation with the bread and circuses that I can get the unrest down to almost zero. Almost zero. Close enough at least. That looks good. We're still in a war. Mozambique and the Red Planet Alliance versus Botswana. Just let that go. Okay, so you finished the resource extraction, which in theory boosted the earnings from refining and agriculture there, to level 4 agriculture there. Yeah, so I think it only affected the agriculture and the refining, the steel refining. At some point I may want to do power grid, which is roughly the equivalent but for the energy sector. This is probably actually reducing the tax revenue every time I'm doing this because of project upkeep. No, actually, maybe not. Maybe I'm misreading that. Is one of the other things that has project upkeep? Maybe. Let's expand you. It's gonna cost 100,000, but we can generate that revenue fairly quickly. And again, that's gonna buff farm bonus and the refining bonus here. And I can actually, while I'm thinking about it, expand the exports on industrial capacity. Invite European Economic Zone to the United Revolutionary Front. Sure. More people join the Red Army. Comrades, we've thrown off the yoke of the bourgeoisie. There's so much to do. At some point, maybe I wasn't paying enough attention. We've lost the Lunar group, but we've gained Mozambique, and apparently now the EU Economic Zone in the agreement, in the group here. Is the French War still going on? No, that war is over. Although, the Texas Mars is at war with someone, so I could eventually try to dive into that war. I thought I was a good spot for it. Country-wise, how's the opinion? The French. Can I end that military access and get a buff? Yes, okay. Can do diplomatic annexation of them? Sure. There we go. We give us some more troops. More importantly, expands our control. Here on Mars, spread in the red. Southern Wastes. So we already improved relations with you, you, and you. And these are, again, I think these are all the people we can get through diplomacy enough opinion with to diplomatic annex. So let's guarantee independence of them, or at least start with this out. Southern Confederacy, Southern Waste Confederacy. Lore opinion, interestingly enough. Not sure. Okay, oh, second will work for the month, so. You're back in the green. You're not done being built. You're done being built. Let's go ahead and grab that expansion. And then you, I think, are ready to grab resource extraction as well. And again, we'll be out of debt in a year at this point. So we'll be out of debt before those actually are built. And we're going to continue going up human here. Okay, so at this point we're sort of circled in there by the Libertarian United Colonies. Okay, so at this point I've maxed out the resource extraction. So here at least we're as big as the farms and refining is going to go without new buildings. And well, farms we don't have open air farming yet, because this is Mars, there isn't enough of an atmosphere to farm outside. don't know if there's another refining tech here. Factory might count as one. Factory might count as one based on the industrial capacity plus 2.8%. Although I think that's just industrial capacity. I think that's this number. So, more industrial capacity would be coming from the factory. Fair enough. So yeah, I think we stack up... Oh, digital assembly is more electronics. This would be the place where we build electronics. I think we do the energy for the more stability, so expand the power grid. Okay, so political innovation's done. How much more tech do we have in the queue? I've got 3 more in the queue. I think the sneeze you may have picked up on the mic if you heard it was actually my grandfather on the far side of the room sneezing. Let's sell some more of this industrial capacity off. At some point we might have enough that I probably should swap to a greater living standard, but... Our prestige is growing. We're up to... Our faction is up to 9. Mostly through economy. So it's... Be saying our economy is fairly large, which is good to see. Oh, my colony finished, didn't it? Yeah. So, as is everywhere, apparently on Mars we make industry. We make steel. We'll make more steel. Out of the 2 places here, I'd prefer this one the best. So we'll stand a colonist there. Buy the infrastructure like so. Power grid still being built. Got both levels of expansion there. Which means I've actually got level 6 agriculture. That's nice. This is my highest industry location with the steel plant. 6. So let's do one more of the resource production here. Put us in debt, that's fine. Getting cold to war. Southern Waste is calling us to aid against the Badlanders. Oh. Astro-American War, okay. They have the much bigger army, okay. They've got enough stability, they're not interested in white peace yet. Let's get the army groups together. And get some more being deployed. Yep, let's go grab some tanks. Artillery. And I suppose I'll grab a little bit extra manpower, or extra infantry. And then I need to buy some of my industry back to support that expansion. I'll be right back. Okay, back in the headset. Someone's making noise. That Revolutionary Front, presumably Mozambique is trying to invite the Beijing government. Sure. No clue if I'm getting enough troops to realistically win the fight here against the United Colonies. I'm also not sure if their forces here are on Mars. They might not be over on... It'd be very easy for them to be over on the moon, for example. Let's continue expanding that power grid. Additional stability gain from power. More escalation. We're now in conventional war. Got the first sector armored division army here. That should get up to 96k in strength. Oop, diplomatic capacity deficit. Stop improving relations with New Petersburg for the moment, because we apparently don't have the capacity to do that level of diplomacy. Okay, so in theory, you're up to strength. Go march into Red Hindustan. Colony down there finished. Decent iron place. We're gonna do more steel refining. Southern Refuge. Okay, so someone over in Southern Refuge. Pioneer Corps called all these wars. Okay. So they're in Southern Refuge. Instead of occupying that place, let's march to Southern Refuge and try to relieve the Bulgar garrison. Fort Falls. And then, in the meantime, let's get colony going here. Okay, so you can see the United Colonies army there. We do outnumber them in theory. get our population growth modifier. So we've got habitability, we got population growth, both of those are good. Delta base is being attacked, and Shinpei Gate. Okay, so that's a different war. Do I go for white peace here? Yeah, not. I think we want to hold off on fighting United Colonies here. Let's go white peace so we can go fight the other war a little bit better. Oh, maybe I should not have pieced out at that point, because now I can't get the Southern Waste Confederacy. To get to the guys I need to fight. Meantime, let's just grab some more infantry so I've got something to go respond with. It's gonna be like 3 years before I can go through their territory. That was a mistake. Buy my Suzerain sign, that's fine. Gates occupied, and the war has escalated to conventional, which is kind of expected. They'd be happy with going away with just the territory they've taken. I'd prefer if we kept our territory. They're not willing to take a white peace yet. Which makes sense, they haven't fought anything yet. Thinking about our territories, we've got the power grid maxed out here. I suppose the other thing we can improve here would be the electronic sector. Start getting the electronic sector going in the largest of our main places. I suppose the capital here works. When the sector, let's get space habitation down for the extra habitability. I want us to have more people live here. Grow the capital a little bit more. You full strength? No, you're not yet. Let's go around every place where we've got. Let's start space habitation. Based on population, highest to lowest. I'm not willing to give you that. My armies are growing, and as soon as I can get some military access, I'm going to be descending upon you like a pack of locusts. Maybe even earlier. That army can get functional. In fact, that army is functional enough. I'll at least get down there so we can see what's going on. So this unit is bigger than the entire Mars Pioneer League's army, in theory. Suppose I could try to get more space fleet capacity and I could fly them via space. That would probably be a smart thing to do. But no, we're gonna have to just occupy them instead. Oh, Martian Pioneers League. I'm in my allies' territory. That's the ally. I'm trying to occupy the ally, and wondering that's not working. Working habitation. More stability gain. That's good. Defense Minister's been reassigned. Okay. And you're still trying to keep what you've taken. I'm going to say no because we're about to retake it. So now we're looking at a state where if I do resolve war, I shouldn't lose anything. One has to ask the question, why would I take peace when I can take victory? Can I get military access from you? No. One more year. I apparently don't have 50 opinion with myself anymore. Interesting. Not sure why, but it's fine. There we go. So there's Psychology 2. Alien Rest Reduction. How many more of those do I have to go? I've got 2 more. Integration, which will be useful for taking territory, which I'm about to do, and then Social Cohesion, and then you can go over in Tech Land. I need to research 20 Tier 2 techs to get access to the Tier 3 for interplanetary technology, which we want for things like nanocomposites and interplanetary culture, interplanetary trade, interplanetary colonization, So we can get off of Mars at that point. These guys are still stuck there. You know, we're close enough to just having space habitation. I'm just going to do it everywhere. Run a little bit of a debt in the meantime, but... theory, they still got 6K military, but I don't know where it is. Okay, so at this point, I think we fully occupy them. Fully occupied, yeah. So resolve the war. Their territory will basically be ours. We'll take that. So our war ally gets one, and we get the other. In 120 months, that will be integrated. Good to know. Meantime, I've got no colonies going. Yeah, so I should be getting some more colonies going. Ooh, 10 iron is good looking. Let's grab that. Back in the positives, let's start building up infrastructure. Across the realm, where I don't have infrastructure. I should probably skip the Chinese territories. Oh, I've already got infrastructure maxed out there. Base. Chinese territory. Oh, that's Jehovia. Okay. Or culturally Jehovian. So let's get some infrastructure there. Oh, no space habitation here? Okay, let's get some space habitation going. Oh, that one got skipped because it was occupied at the time. That makes sense. Scion. Expand the digital assembly. Oh, and I'm running up a pretty big debt there, so let's work the debt down a bit. I'll say a bit of big debt. It's like 4 years of debt. Next one, we can go ahead and grab science and innovation, education efficiency. Last is a little more resource capacity and unit morale for space humans. Botswana fully occupy. I assume it's fully occupied by Mozambique. So I'll accept that that's over. Martian Kaiserreich. Oh, interesting. So they, due to ideology, they are semi towards us. Okay. Improve relations there. Guarantee independence then. Control you. Yeah, we've got the manpower that can be grabbing more troops. Get you... Oh, I've actually got you on the occupied territory, so let's keep you there until the unrest is dealt with, the integration is complete. I'd say let's get you back to the capital, but like, maybe not. Pull up the infrastructure in the capital. I do have excess industrial capacity, so let's export some of that. Apparently we're the 8th most prestigious faction in the game, probably mostly due to me. A little bit surprised about that. Although, maybe... What, it's basically me, Mozambique. Oh no, it actually is me, not the faction. The Revolutionary Front is probably one of the bigger factions, but... Yeah, the faction is at 4% of all prestige. I'm personally at 8th. Okay. Because we happen to have the first. We have the European Economic Zone as the most prestigious of the faction groups. Let's stop carrying the independence of Kaiserreich. We have a little bit of political power, or diplomatic power. Instead, spend that on improving relations with the European Economic Zone. Country rank is too high to be diplomatic connections. Fair enough. Let's try to ask to join their international community, the Economic Zone one. We might get told no. Oh, and my colony finished. Where was the new colony? There was the new colony. Standard stuff. Steel refinery is the very first thing we build. I'm gonna get a little bit ahead of ourselves and just space habitation right afterwards. We have 2 next. That's an option if I want to try cutting off. The north guys. We'll do here. Waiting for this integration to complete. we did manage to get into the World Economic Convergence, which is a military alliance, apparently. Not to be confused with the Red Army, which is, I assumed, also a military alliance, but... Okay, so we're effectively in a double military bonus. Fair enough. Everyone that joins the United Revolutionary Front, because we've got enough revolutionary fever there here, it's getting extra unit morale, and is being dragged towards Marxist alignment, so being dragged towards communism, getting more recruitable population factor. But I'm paying the stability to stoke that revolutionary fervor. Vanity first. Actually gives me even more industrial capacity to export. Yeah, I'll keep exporting it. I was debating for a moment if I should just try to swap towards better living conditions. To spend my industrial capacity on instead making education and resource incomes bigger. Yeah, probably go all the way up to ultimate liberty if we were to do that. This is the capital. I'm not sure that it particularly matters in the case of this game. I'm going to go ahead and fortify the capital a bit. Put some fortifications to the capital. Even if it doesn't really do much, that seems thematic thing to do. Okay, one of our leaders died, replaced. So I need more space fleet capacity to move my armies back and forth. So let's start to go around improving space fleet capacity. The way I'm going to do that is by building spaceports. Basically going to build in my 4 smallest locations, just because it's going to be relatively cheap, initial cost-wise, to get them built there. And we are getting big enough that I should probably start using the construction manager instead of manually going region by region to pick stuff. So, for example, do I have space habitation unbuilt anywhere? I do. Let's get that queued. And looking at the time, we just come up over another hour. I think this is a good place to put a part break in. We've had some fighting in this one, so I've sort of been learning how to do military here. We haven't necessarily come off too bad. We haven't lost any territory. We've picked up some territory in exchange. We did randomly lose an army, so things didn't quite go the way I'd planned. But yeah, we're up to about to have the 3rd territory integrated, and the colonization expansion has been going relatively well. And one of our allies in one of these wars did manage to expand as well, so when we do integrate them diplomatically later, they'll be 1 territory bigger. Yeah, we're slowly pushing to integrate these people. Got to get them up to 50 to integrate. And we're getting like +1 a year? +1 a year, yeah. The other thing to do is invite them into the United Revolutionary Front to push them towards being Marxist, if I can. Yeah, probably just keep expanding, but for the moment, things I think are going well. We've got an army. We've apparently got plenty of manpower because the nation is growing, and as the nation grows, I have more and more access to more and more manpower. Checking up on taxes. I could do stuff to raise the opinion. Oh, we reached the point actually here where I can't keep the middle class happy enough to get the middle class bonus, even with no taxes. Technocrats here is fine. I might go a little bit down here to buff happiness for the ideologues. Get them green. There we go. So yeah, I gotta figure out how I want to make these factions happier. Some of what might be going on is that we're slowly drifting more and more Marxist, obviously. Some of the factions like that, some of the factions don't like that. The middle class, for example, don't actually appreciate being Marxist. They're apparently too rich for the communist ideology. Same sort of thing with the aristocrats. Whereas the rules don't like it either. The managers like it. And military likes it, but not very much. Yeah, so it looks like that's we're going the manager aligned ideology. Technocrats aren't too bad. But yeah, I'll have to decide how I'm gonna, or decide if there's a way that I can raise the middle class opinion. Something about loyalty going down based on power. Maybe making them more powerful is bad in that way. I'll think about it. But for the moment, this is where we're going to put the part break in. If you're watching on YouTube, we will have another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. This is the middle of the stream where I go and customarily make a new cup of tea, because the cup of tea is empty. I will be back as soon as the cup of tea is brewed to record another 2 parts tonight before we bring the stream to a close. We're up to 13 million and growing at a reasonable rate, so I think that will continue. So until the next part, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part and/or stream, and bye for now.